confident. And there we go. So our lesson is going to start, and we are going to start by doing some maths. Okay, so I am going to share my screen with you. We've got a little PowerPoint that we're going to go through. And you do have a worksheet with some questions on. That's going to come at the end. I'm predicting that actually you'll probably do that in your own time. And we've got some questions to work through on the PowerPoint for now. So make sure you do have your worksheet, but definitely have a plain piece of paper or a lined piece of paper to write some answers on for the questions that are going to be on the PowerPoint as well. Okay, so let's go. Let's get our maths brains on. That's what I always say. Turn my math brain on. We're good to go. So today we are going to be doing reading and writing numbers up to 10 million. So we're thinking about big, big numbers. Big numbers, okay? Now, this is something that most schools, I'm sure you might have even started doing this in school as well. We always start with place value and big numbers because it's the foundation to all maths, okay? If you understand big numbers, you can work with them and you'll have a much better understanding as well. Yes, the PowerPoint I can pop in the files as well at the end of the lesson, don't worry, okay? So today, we are going to be reading and writing numbers up to 10 million. Remember, all numbers can be broken up into digits. In the example below, we can see this. Okay, so in the example, you can see we have our place value grid. We have tens of thousands, hundreds, tens, ones. We have our decimal point, then tenths, hundredths, and thousandths. I'm sure you will have all seen a place value grid before. So in order to read and say our numbers, you have to follow a few simple rules. Rule number 1, all 2-digit numbers higher than 20 have a hyphen in between them, unless they end with a 0. So for example, 45, when we write it in words, is 45 with a hyphen in between the 2 words. And that is something lots of people forget, okay? So that's rule number 1. We need a hyphen in between 2-digit numbers higher than 20. Watch out for 5-digit numbers or larger. For example, 48,942. Okay, you have 2 words in there that need the hyphen. We have 48 and 42. Okay, so you can see an example there, and we'll see a few more as we go through the PowerPoint. So rule number 2. If a column has a 0 in it, you do not have to say anything for that column. For example, 600 is just 600. We have no tens, we have no ones. We don't need to say that. 8,041, we have nothing in the hundreds column there, so we don't need to say anything. So it's just 8,041. All good so far? Yeah, I love those happy, excited faces. Don't forget, if there is a decimal point, we don't use tens or hundreds. We simply list the digits. So the number you can see there, when we read it, it's 8.582. So I see lots of people who go, oh, my answer is 8.582. That's not correct. It's just listing the numbers, okay? So 8.582. There are our simple rules. Now, we're going to read numbers up to 10 million, so big numbers. To read numbers, we must use our knowledge of place value to understand what the digits within the number are worth. So here is our place value grid again. We can see my beautiful color coding here. Oh, look, Eva, I've got some red at the start. We like that one. So our millions are grouped together in one color in red. Then we have our thousands, then hundreds, and then tens and ones. Okay, so we can see that the number has 552 million, Notice that we're grouping them together according to the colours. So we've got 552,476,000. That's the next group. 327. Everybody okay so far? Feeling good? Feeling good? Yeah. Brilliant. So now it's your turn. So we're going to have some take it in turns, okay? We're going to have some volunteers who would like to read some of these numbers. So who's going to volunteer? Who's going to volunteer? Anybody I've not spoken to yet? Oh, I can see. Oh, Hanaya. Hey, lovely.
My name is Hania.
Hanya, I am so sorry. Hanya, sometimes I just get it wrong. You'll have to correct me. I'm so sorry. Would you like to read one of those numbers? You can choose whichever one you would like.
42,215,849.
Wow, love it. Brilliant. So 42,215,849. You superstar. Well done. Thank you so much. Who else would like to have a go? Let's hear. Oh, I've got my pen on. That's why it won't unmute. Amarachi, would you like to read one of the numbers below?
Yeah, 22,405,201.
You superstar. And you know what I love? You guys have gone straight in for those really big numbers at the bottom. You're like, yeah, I'm confident. We can do this. That is absolutely fantastic. Who else? Hafsa.
I want to say some big numbers, Bob. So 7,615,841.
Superstar. Well done. Fantastic. Super duper. This is what I like. So we've got all our numbers in the millions so far. Well done. Eva, would you like to read one of the others?
2,301,032.
Yeah, well done. Sometimes it feels funny, doesn't it, when there's a gap and there's no number, you go, oh, but that was perfect. Absolute superstar. Well done. Thank you so much. Callie, is it Callie? Please correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, it's Callie.
Say again.
249,294.
Superstar. Well done. Brilliant. I love this. You guys are obviously super, super duper confident. Would anybody else like to have a go at reading one of our last few? Anybody else? Or we're feeling a bit shy? No? That is absolutely fine. Don't worry. I'm really pleased with those so far. So this one here. Oh, in fact, I'm going to show you. I can show you, okay? So well done to those of you who have shared. Fantastic, super confident as well. Here we go. Here are the answers. So you can have a look. Did you get it right? Is that what you were going to say? Yeah, I love these nodding faces. Superstars. Well done. So key thing to remember is to group those digits together. So we have our millions, our thousands, hundreds, and then tens and ones, and that will help you when reading the numbers. Now, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to write the numbers up to 10 million and even a little bit beyond that. So remember these rules. All two-digit numbers higher than 20 have a hyphen in between them, unless they end with a 0. For example, 45. And remember, if a column has a 0 in it, you do not have to say anything in that column. Okay. Can you, in the chat, can you type that number in words and show me? Can you type that number in words and show me in the chat? That would be fantastic. Get your typing skills going as well. Let's see, I can see lots of people beavering away. So write that number in words. So it's basically what you would say, isn't it? And then pop it in the chat for me. Oh, well done, Kabir. That's fantastic. Uh, well done, Amarachi. Well done, Eva. These are looking great, guys. Well done. I know it can be a bit tricky as well when you're typing. Oh, you can't see the number while typing. That's so frustrating. Don't worry. What you can do is write it on a piece of paper instead, and then you can check your answers when we go through. Okay, so don't worry. 200. Oh, Adia, just have a look. Yeah, so you've got the beginning 240. What is it? Is it thousands, hundreds? Just have a look at that. Superstars. This is brilliant. Fantastic. Yeah, the one thing I'm seeing, okay, this is really good. You guys are great with your big numbers. The one thing I'm seeing is just some people are forgetting the 1,000. So we've got the 240 and the 491, but we've just forgotten the 1,000. So don't forget that really important word, okay? Brilliant. So 240,491. Well done to those of you, okay, who remembered your hyphen as well. Now, can you have a go at writing the next number? Now, if you're struggling to type it in the chat, please write it down on a piece of paper. And then when I show you the answer, you can just tell me in the chat if you got it correct or not. So if you're happy to type in the chat, please do so. But if not, write it on the piece of paper. And then when I share the answer, you can let me know how you did. Okay. So a bigger number this time. Love to see everyone working away. This is fantastic. Amarachi, you're so quick. I love this. You must be a super duper typer as well. Well done, sweetheart. That is absolutely perfect. Well done. Just a few more seconds now. I always find lots of people go, oh, these are the questions that I don't like the most. And it's because there are so many words to write, aren't there? Especially when you get to the big numbers, it can take a little while to actually write it all down. So Eva, let's have a look. Oh, this is looking fantastic. Oh, brilliant, Caddy. Or you will get a lovely view of me getting so close to the screen now to read what people are showing me. That looks great. From what I can see, that looks great. Well done. Yay. Okay, I'm going to reveal the answer for you now. So if you've written it on paper, have a look. Does it match? Have you remembered your hyphens? And then there's one more to do. So again, you can write it on your paper or you can pop it in the chat, whichever is easiest for you, okay? Whatever is easiest for you. Well done, Shreya. That's brilliant. Okay, so another big number now, even bigger number. Well done, guys. This is brilliant. Really impressed. Okay, so I'm going to reveal the answer to you. Oh, you guys got really quick with this one. You're getting really snappy. That's fantastic. So this number here, we've got 72,402,489. Oh my goodness, huge number. But those were looking great. Fantastic. So feeling good? Everybody feeling good that I can see? I can see some smiles. That's fantastic. Well done. Okay, so now we've had a go at writing numbers, okay? Writing numbers in words. So little task for you. You can pick a colored box. So wherever you would like to start, if you want to do yellow, if you want to do green, if you want to do pink, copy the number in digits and then write underneath it the number in words. You don't need to copy it in digits if you don't want to, but definitely have a go. Can you write those numbers in words? I'm just going to give us 2 minutes. So even if you just get one done, that's absolutely fine. And again, you can write it on paper and then let me know how you've done when I reveal the answers, or you can type it in the chat. It is totally up to you. So remember those place value columns, you have your millions, your thousands. That's what was missing last time. Just quite a few people forgetting to write down how many thousands we have. So make sure you don't forget that. So you can choose which box you're going to work from. That's totally up to you. You can be writing it on your paper, or you can type it in the chat. A minute and a half, just do as many as you can. That's fine. If you've been writing in the chat, but now you want to write on paper, that's absolutely fine. This is great what I'm seeing. This is fantastic. I'm loving these comments if they're great. Wonderful. You guys are on fire. Yes. And look. Oh, it's upside down, Cully. I was thinking, oh, I can't quite see. uh, two. Perfect. I think just the beginning, I think your million needs, you've put your millions in the arrow to the wrong place. But I think other than that, you're fine. Okay. Well done. Okay, so now you are going to be able to mark your own as well. So I'm going to reveal the answers to you. Okay, have a look. Check it with your own. You can let me know in the chat if you got all of them correct. You can send me some celebrations, some thumbs up, whatever you like. You got to big yourself up, guys. You've always got to big yourself up when you do well. Okay. Always got to give yourself a pat on the back. Yes, love that. Let's see the celebrations. Fantastic. Well done. Thumbs up in the chat as well. This is brilliant. Yeah. I've just done a creative writing session and we've been raising the roof for each other. So we're going to raise the roof. You've done amazing. Fantastic. Well done. And you guys have been using the chat really effectively. You guys are on fire. I love this. Okay. So what are the errors that people might make when reading and writing numbers? Does anyone want to share? What do you think the most common errors are? What do you think the most common mistakes are? Let's see. Is there anyone who hasn't spoken yet? Can't see. Does anybody want to share? What do you think the most common errors are? Eva, what do you think the most common errors are?
They forget to add the thousands.
Yeah, well, that's something we've discovered today. It isn't actually on my PowerPoint, but you are completely right. Well done for picking that up. One thing, I think because the thousands are right in the middle, people get a little bit carried away, don't they? So yeah, well done. Fantastic. Can anybody think of anything else? Oh, Ruben. What might people get wrong?
It's Evie, and sometimes they forget to put in the commas.
Yes, the commas are so important, aren't they? They really help you read the numbers, and they make big numbers much simpler to read. So I'm really glad you've picked up on that. Well done. Fantastic. Superstars. So what have I got on my list? So they forget that all the two-digit numbers higher than 20 have a hyphen in between them as well, unless they end with 0. But you guys were super duper fantastic at remembering your hyphens. Well done. And then just forgetting, but I didn't see anybody do that today. So that's absolutely amazing. Oh, I love this. Some of you are writing your answers in the chat to me as well. Superstars. Incorrect place value columns. Forgetting the 1,000. Yeah, brilliant. This is fantastic. We are on a roll. So what we would do now, I'm just checking my watch. Okay, so can you read and write these numbers? So I'm just looking at my watch, what the time is. So what I think we'll do is, because you guys have been absolutely fantastic at this, okay, let's just, oh, I want to hear some more voices. Would anybody like me to unmute them so they can read some of these numbers? Anybody we haven't spoken to yet, would they like to have a go? Is anybody feeling a little bit more confident? Anybody feeling a bit more confident would like to share? It's okay if not, don't worry. I'd just like to give everybody this opportunity. Okay, Hafsa, would you like to read one of these numbers, please?
Yeah.
Which one are you going to go for?
The last one.
Knew you would. Let's go for it.
492,941,442.
Right. Put your thumbs up if you think she said that correctly. Let me see. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, she did. She did. Everybody is going, yeah, you did good, girl. Well done. That was brilliant. A huge number. Well done. Thank you so much. Right. One more person. One more person. One more. Oh, are you? Yeah, we just got thumbs up. Who would like to read one of the numbers? I'm going to come back to you, Ruben. Would you like to read one of these numbers, please?
It's 5,000,001, the third one.
Yeah, I love that one. There's so many zeros isn't there? And you
Yeah.
remembered to not count those. So fantastic. 5,000,001, this middle number here. Absolute superstar. Thank you so much. Okay, guys. So what I'm going to do there is stop. I'm going to make that smaller, she says. Here we go. Brilliant. I'm going to stop sharing our maths. Now, you do have a maths worksheet, okay? Now, you can complete that in your own time. It's very similar where you can choose your coloured box, what you feel you're most comfortable doing. So have a look at the questions, choose the one that you're most comfortable doing. Now, this is for you to do in your own time if you would like. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the answers onto the classroom where the link and everything was for this lesson too. So once you've completed it, you can have a look at the answers and you can mark it and see how well you've done. All good? Woo! Oh my goodness, I can't believe it. We are already halfway through the lesson. Oh my goodness, time is flying. Time flies when you're having fun. So the next thing that we're going to move on to now is we are going to have a look at some vocabulary and comprehension. So those of you with your hands up, do you have questions or was it for some previous questions? Just pop them down if it's not relevant now, because I know that happens sometimes in the lesson. People forget that their hands are up. Or if you would like to speak, if you've got a question. Yes, you can do it all. You can do all the homework sheet. That's totally up to you. Definitely. If you can answer all those questions, that means you'll have done some super duper practice. Definitely. And thank you for typing that in the chat as well, you superstar. Okay, so what we need now is your comprehension work. So I'm just going to share it on the screen. Ta-da! And as if by magic, here is the comprehension that we're going to look at. So we are going to be reading an extract from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Has anybody read this or seen the film or know the story? Yeah, a couple of people, not many, not many. This is actually one of my favorites. I love this story. It's really, really good. Oh, is it Mariah? Have you just put your hand up to say that yes, you've read the story? Am I misinterpreting? I'm so sorry. Me thinking, yeah, come and share with us, come and talk. I've scared you away now. But yes, so this is just an extract from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And that means it's just a little bit of it. It's not the full story, but it's just a little bit. Okay. Oh, so you've seen the movie. Fantastic. Brilliant. The answer to I haven't uploaded it yet, but I will do. So you'll see it after the lesson. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to read through the text and then there are some questions that follow afterwards. Now, we are going to read through the text together. I'm going to read it to you. Okay. In future lessons, we might do a little bit of shared reading, but just for today, for this taster, I'm going to read it to you. And what we're going to do is we're going to get in really good habits of underlining some key features as we read. Now, this technique will help you when you then come to answer the questions. Because what you'll find is you'll look at the question and then you'll be able to go back to the text and you'll have probably underlined or highlighted something relevant to that question. And it just means that you can be a little bit more efficient, so a little bit quicker. And it means that you can find your answers a bit quicker as well. Okay. So it's really good to get into good habits where you underline and highlight some key parts of the text. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So if you've got a different colored pencil or a pen or a highlighter, or if you've just got your pencil, your regular one, that's absolutely fine too, because you can underline and it'll still stand out. Whatever you would prefer. I am one of those people who likes to have some very bright stationery of some kind. Yes, Kelly, that is correct. Those are the kinds of things we're going to be looking for. Oh, and I can see you've got your highlighter. Oh, you guys, you're awesome. You're so prepared. So we're going to read through the text and you can underline with me as well. And I'll just go through some of the key things that I find and that I like to underline as well. So it says, read this extract from The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe by C.S. Lewis. Then answer the questions below. Okay, we're ready. While the dwarf and the white witch were saying this, miles away, the beaver and the children were walking on hour after hour into what seemed a delicious dream. So I like this description. I always like to pick out some key descriptions because I know that there's often lots of questions about how the author has described things, what figurative language they've used, things like that. So I like to pick out some of the descriptions. You might have picked some other things out. This isn't what I say is completely right. If you found some other things too, that's absolutely fine. Okay. So I love that it's a delicious dream. Okay, so I'm going to keep reading. So you can annotate with me. Just remember, I'm just disabling the annotation. Sorry for others. There we go. Long ago, they had left the coats behind them, and by now they had even stopped saying to one another, "Look, there's a kingfisher," or "I say, bluebells," or "What was that lovely smell?" or "Just listen to that thrush." I also like to underline speech, what people are saying. So I'm going to underline that as well here. And there's lots of speech, isn't it? So they're walking along. They walked on in silence, drinking it all in, passing through patches of warm sunlight into cool green thickets. So again, we have some nice description there, don't we? Cool green thickets and out again into wide mossy glades where tall elms raised the leafy roof far overhead, and then into dense masses of flowering currant and among hawthorn bushes where the sweet smell was almost overpowering. What a fantastic description. Okay. I need to unfortunately delete what I've highlighted because when I scroll through the text, I'm sure you can see, look what happens. Ugh, what a pain. It doesn't move with it. So that's why I'm just going to get rid of what I've done so far. But that's okay because you've followed me and done it with me as well. So that's okay. So here we go again. They had been just as surprised as Edmund when they saw the winter vanishing and the whole wood passing in a few hours or so from January to May. So I'm going to underline this. I also like to underline names of people so that you can, when questions refer to people, you can quickly go back and find them and they'll stand out too. So yeah, I like to underline names. And then we have some key information here from January to May. So I'm just going to highlight that as well. Okay, so let's keep going. They hadn't even known for certain, as the witch did, that this was what would happen when Aslan came to Narnia. We have some more names here. So Aslan came to Narnia. But they all knew that it was her spells which had produced the endless winter. And therefore, they all knew when this magic spring began that something had gone wrong, and badly wrong, with the witch's schemes. So her schemes have gone wrong. And after the thaw had been going on for some time, they all realised that the witch would no longer be able to use her sledge. This is interesting. So she can't use her sledge anymore. I think that's an important piece of information. After that, they didn't hurry so much and they allowed themselves more rests and longer ones. So they're resting a bit more. They were pretty tired by now, of course, but not what I'd call bitterly tired, only slow and feeling very dreamy and quiet inside as one does when one is coming to the end of a long day in the open. So I'm going to put they're feeling very dreamy. Okay. And then we've got this piece of information here. Susan had a slight blister on one heel. They had left the course of the big river some time ago, for one had to turn a little to the right. That meant a little to the south. A little bit of key information. To reach the place of the stone table. Sounds like this is a key place. This is where they're heading. Even if this had not been their way, they couldn't have kept to the river valley once the thaw began, for with all that melting snow, the river was soon in flood, a wonderful, roaring, thundering yellow flood. It's a nice bit of description there, isn't it? And their path would have been under water. And now the sun got low and the light got redder and the shadows got longer and the flowers began to think about closing. So we've got a nice description here about the flowers. Okay, all good so far? Right, I'm going to have to clear it all again and scroll down. Okay. Not long now, said Mr. Beaver. Oh, we've got some more speech and we've got a name. So I'm going to underline that as well. And began leading them uphill across some very deep springy moss. It felt nice under their tired feet, in a place where only tall trees grew, very wide apart. So again, we've got some description of where they are. The climb coming at the end of the long day made them all pant and blow. So something that they're doing. They're out of puff. And just as Lucy was wondering whether she could really get to the top without another long rest, suddenly they were at the top. So we've got another name here mentioned too. Okay, so any questions so far? So we've read the text, we've underlined some key bits of information. Yes, sweetheart.
What does thaw mean?
Which word, sorry?
Thaw. T-H-A-O. I mean T-H.
Question. Yeah, superstar. Okay, so let's just scroll up the word thaw. So it says here, they couldn't have kept to the river valley once the thaw began, for with all that melting snow, the river was soon in flood. So to thaw means that the ice is melting. Okay, the thaw is all the ice, all the snow melting. You might get something out of your freezer. So, you know, sometimes you have to get some food out the freezer and it has to defrost before you can cook it. That is thawing. That process is called thawing. So it means that the ice and the snow are melting. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Thank you for sharing a super question. Okay, so now anybody else? Hallie, what would you like to ask?
So there's a word at the bottom called pant. It says the climb coming at the end of a long day made them all pant and blow.
Yes.
So what does the word pant mean?
Superstar. So good question again. So it says the climb coming at the end of the long day. So they've climbed, they've been walking and walking, so they're tired already. And then they've done a really big climb. What do you think they're doing when they're really tired?
Like they're breathing heavily.
Superstar. Well done. They're going, oh, they're panting. You know, like a dog would pant when they're
Yeah,
like that. Okay. So they're
Yeah.
panting, they're going, oh goodness me, I can't make it. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what they're doing. Panting and blowing. It's that heavy breathing. Superstar. Well done. Thank you for asking. Okay, so I think hawthorn. Yeah, hawthorn is a plant. Hawthorn is a type of plant. It's like a bush and it does have thorns on it. Okay, quite sharp ones. But it's a plant. It's like a little bush. Okay. Superstars. Well done. I love it when you guys ask questions. That's really good. Okay, are we ready to attempt some questions? Now, oh, excuse me, I just need a bit of water. Had a frog in my throat then for a second, excuse me. So we've underlined some key bits of information, bits of speech, some nice descriptions. We've also underlined names. And those things are going to really help us now when we answer the questions. Now, one of my top tips might seem really, really obvious, but it's something that I have to say quite a lot. And that is, this isn't a memory test. Okay, it's not a memory test. You have the text with you all the time. So when you look at a question, look back at the text for your answers. You don't just have to try and remember it. It's not a memory test. So the fact that we've underlined those key things will be really useful when we look back at the text and then at our questions. Okay. So question number 1 says, what adjective is used to describe the dream into which the beaver and children were walking? Would you guys like to type in the chat what you think the answer is? Let's have a look. Oh, I like this so far. I'm going to stop sharing so I can see you guys, I think, a little bit more. Or actually, let's pop the text on rather than the question. So we have this to refer to. Super. I'm loving what I'm seeing in the chat so far, guys. It's absolutely brilliant. You guys are getting I'm just trying to move our faces. There we go. Just so I can zoom out a little bit so we can see the whole text. There we go. That's better. So let's have a look. Oh, well done, Kabir. Well done, Amarachi. Well done, Nafsia. Oh, I'm so sorry if I've said that wrong, but you've got the right answer. Well done. Yes, you can write it on your sheet as we go. That's fantastic. Brilliant. Yes. So the answer is delicious. Okay. The dream, let's have a look. And that is actually one of the bits of information we underlined. How convenient. So it really does help to underline those bits of info because that was really quick. So can anybody tell me what is an adjective? What is an adjective? What does it do? Your questions, make sure that my questions are on the back of the text. So turn the page over. Are they on the back rather than on a separate one? What does an adjective do? How do I pronounce your name, sweetheart? Oh, you've gone again. Hello, hello.
It describes a noun.
It does. It does. It describes a noun. Well done. Fantastic. So an adjective describes a noun. So our noun here is the word dream, and delicious is the word that describes it. Well done. I love how you guys are writing your answers in the chat as well. So even if I'm not actually selecting you to speak, you're writing it in the chat. That's fantastic. Just to let me know your understanding. Superstar. So yes, the adjective to describe the dream is delicious. Let's have a look at question number 2. What did the children discard and why? First question, I would love to know, can anybody tell me what discard means? If you discard something, what does that mean? Can anybody help? If you discard something, I can see some people have got the answers in the chat, which shows you do know what the word means. Oh, well done. Oh, Kabir, can you tell me, what does discard mean?
So they discarded their coats, and discard means that like they just left.
Yeah, they just left them. They got rid of them, didn't they? If you discard something, you get rid of it. They left it. Superstar, thank you. So we learned what discard means, and you told us the answer as well. And you are completely correct. Well done. They left their coats behind. It says long ago, they had left their coats behind them. So discard means to get rid of. Their coats they've left behind. So the answer is their coats. Brilliant. And it's because they just weren't cold anymore. Okay, well done. You've typed your answers in the chat. You guys, you are doing brilliantly. Okay, question number 3. Oh my goodness, there are so many things that we could list. So definitely get in the chat now and tell me what it says to list 4 things that the children notice as they walk. There are more than 4 things. Okay, so hit me with as many as you can in the chat. What do they see? Amarachi, you're straight in there. Yes and yes. Well done. Okay, what did they see? You could do one at a time. You don't have to write all 4 in your answer. Tell me as many as you can. I'm going to tick them off my list. I love that. So yeah, we've got kingfishers been said. We've got bluebells. And this we can see is in, can you remember we highlighted all this speech? So this speech here is when the children are saying, oh, look, they're saying what they've seen, aren't they? So we can find our answers here. So yeah, we've got bluebells. We've got, there's a kingfisher. Oh, a thrush, because they listen to the thrush. Thrush is a type of bird. Yeah, kingfisher, yeah, kingfishers and bluebells definitely the most popular. Yeah, the lovely smell. Well done, guys. Lots of you are saying the lovely smell. What a lovely smell. Again, that is in our piece of speech that we identified when we read through. So yeah, oh, you guys are on fire. This is brilliant. So we've got a lovely smell. We've got a thrush. Somebody said patches of warm sunlight. You are correct. Mossy glades. Well done. Mossy glades, definitely one. Like I say, it says list 4, but there are definitely more than 4, isn't there? I wonder. Oh, somebody said tall elms. Well done, guys. So coats isn't actually one of the things they notice. It's when it says what they notice as they walk, it's what do they see as they're walking along. The coats are the things that were discarded. Oh, hawthorn bushes. Yeah, well done. That was one that I was looking for. Superstar. Brilliant. So there's green thickets as well. There's one more thing that I'm looking for. Oh, Ruben got in there. She must have read my mind. She must have read my mind. The one that I was looking for was the one right at the end, and that is the hawthorn bushes. Well done. Every single answer I've seen has been spot on. You guys are really, really good. You've paid lots of attention. Well done. Brilliant. Okay, so let's move on to question 4. What do you think is meant by the phrase, the sweet smell was almost overpowering? So we're looking at this one here. The sweet smell was almost overpowering. I would love somebody to talk me through this one. Would anybody like to share, ask me to unmute them and share what they think? What does it mean if the smell is overpowering? Adia. Hello, hello. Can you unmute yourself? Or are we having some technical difficulties? Adia, can you unmute yourself? Is it working? Oh no. Doesn't seem to be working. No problem. I'm going to have to ask someone else. I'm so sorry. Amarachi, what does it mean? Mariah, that's really good answer in the chat.
I think it might mean so like the sweet smell was so good that it like took away all the other smells around her, and all you could smell was just that sweet smell.
Yeah, well done. That's really good. So yeah, it's overpowering. It's knocked out everything else, hasn't it? You can't smell anything else. That's the only thing you can smell. Fantastic. That's a really good description. Well done. What I love as well is all of these answers are absolutely fine. So what you've just said is perfect, but also the scent is really strong. What else have we got here? The scent is really strong. I love this one as well. Almost too good of a fragrance. It's almost too much. Overpowering. It's almost too much of the smell. You know how sometimes when somebody sprays perfume and at first it's really nice and you really like it, but then when there's too much, you sort of go, oh, goodness me. It's just too much of a good thing, isn't it? And it overpowers, it takes over all the other smells. You can't smell anything else. Okay. It's almost, yeah, the scent is really strong. It's almost so strong that it could make you pass out even. Yeah, so that is really emphasizing just how strong it is. It isn't just a strong smell, it's an overpowering smell. It's like the next level along. Brilliant. You guys are so strong with your reading. This is brilliant. Okay, just checking the time. Next question. What had Edmund been surprised by? So Edmund was definitely one of the names that we underlined. So when you go back to the text, you'll be able to see where we underlined Edmund, and then that will be able to help you with your answer. So why was Edmund surprised? What had he been surprised by? It makes your nostril hairs prick up. Definitely. I love that for the last question. Yes, well done. So we've got lots of people typing in the chat here. This is really good, really good. Yep, if you've told me your answer, that's fantastic. You're all correct so far. Yeah, well done. If we have a look, the sentences here. They had been just as surprised as Edmund when they saw the winter vanishing. So they're surprised that winter has vanished. Winter has gone. Okay, and that's what they were surprised at. But are you starting to see why it's really good to underline those key names and key descriptions, because that was really easy to find? Well done, guys, in the chat. You're doing fantastic. Okay, number 6. What did the children not know for certain? This is a tricky one. What did the children not know for certain? What I'm going to do is I'm just going to lower everybody's hands because I think they're up from previous questions. And if you would like to answer this question, so I do like to hear from you guys. Other things that we'll do in future lessons as well is I will give you time to like work in breakout rooms in groups and have discussions, but that's something we can do in future lessons. That's always really good fun as well. Hafsa, would you like to share with us what do you think the answer is for this question?
I think that they did not know for certain what would happen when Aslan came to Nirvana, because it says in the text.
You superstar. And that is also something we underlined, wasn't it? Yeah, you've absolutely picked it out perfectly. So this sentence here, it says, they hadn't even known for certain, as the witch did, that this was what would happen when Aslan came to Narnia. Well done. Okay, superstar. Brilliant. So let's have a look at number 7. So in the chat, can you tell me, what did the witch's spell produce? What did the witch's spell produce? Tell me in the chat. What did the witch's spell? Oh, you superstars. You're on it with this one. This is fantastic. Yeah, well done. Oh, everybody who shared their answer, you are correct. Well done. It is the endless winter. Yes, her spell brought on the endless winter. Terrible. Everybody's freezing cold, constant like the Ice Age. Well done, guys. This is absolutely brilliant. Superstars. Okay. Unfortunately, we are going to have to start wrapping our lesson up now. You guys have been absolutely incredible. Now, as you can see, there are a lot more questions that you can do. And again, what I'm going to do is I am going to pop all the answers. I'm going to upload them to the school group along with the maths answers. And you'll be able to then have a go at the questions if you would like in your own time. There's quite a few. There's some really good ones on vocabulary work as well. And we'll be doing lots of vocabulary work as we do other sessions in future weeks as well. So there's a really nice grid here with synonyms. So that's a fantastic one to have a go at. But in your own time, have a go at those questions. I'll upload the answers. You can then give it a tick, give yourself a mark, see how you've done. So I'll upload those after this lesson now. So that's there for you guys to do in your own time, but you have, no, you're not supposed to see everybody's messages. So the chat is set up so only I can see your messages. So everybody's talking to me. Otherwise, if I have the chat open, everybody starts talking like, oh, hey, how are you? How was your weekend? So we just need to keep focused. And that's why the chat is for me. Okay. So we're going to stop sharing that screen. So you've got that now. You can take that away. Have a go. Look at the answers. See how you did. Give yourself some marks. I'm going to stop the recording.